I made my opponent discard their battlefield. Yeah, you heard me right, not their hand, their entire battlefield. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. All right, it is cube draft time. Playing some powered cube, and I'm pretty sure I know what we might be taking here. I mean, pack one, pick one. There is no card in Magic you would rather open in a powered cube than Black Lotus. The rest of this pack actually pretty mid. There's like a Narset, which would be good with Black Lotus. Flage is a good card. I guess there's a dual land, but not a great one. Honestly, I'm glad we got this Black Lotus because there's nothing else I'd be super hyped to take pack one, pick one here. So we're going to snake Black Lotus and see where we go from here. The one thing about Black Lotus is 4-drops do go up in value. This pack, just because you can play them on turn one, this pack, I mean, Memory Jar is a broken card. Maybe we go like Storm. Black Lotus into Memory Jar could be Storm. Sundering Titan could go in an artifact deck. The rest of this pack isn't super exciting. I kind of think we just take the Memory Jar. My philosophy for Powered Cube is you want to do the broken thing, and we're going to try to do the broken thing. Ooh, this pack is kind of interesting. Sneak Attack is a 4-drop that can come down turn one off Black Lotus. Doesn't know anything in specific with Memory Jar, but maybe that's the broken thing we do. Chrome Mox is also more fast mana. So far, though, we have 2 artifacts. If we end up the artifact deck, then Chrome Mox becomes less good. I think we just take a speculative Sneak Attack and go from there. So now we want to look for big things to cheat to play with Sneak Attack if we go that direction. Kind of think we just take Metamorph here. Like, it works with Black Lotus, kind of. Ups our storm count, works with Memory Jar, and it's just nice to be able to copy big things. Also kind of good with Sneak Attack as like a second Sneak Attack target. This pack does not have much of anything. I guess we can look at Wishclaw just to tutor up whatever. I mean, I don't know what broken thing we're going to do yet. We might be a Storm deck. We might be a Sneak Attack deck. I mean, Carnosaur, I guess, is okay off Sneak Attack, but it's not exciting. We really would rather have like an Emrakul or an Atraxa or something. I think we just take the Wishclaw. We are in, well, 2 colors, I guess. Metamorph we can cast for colorless, but we're going to have to keep that in mind. Well, Etali is reasonable off Sneak Attack. It's not Emrakul, but it's reasonable. There's a couple of lands we could look into. At some point, we might need mana fixing. Fire Blast is good if you're burn. Yeah, I mean, the Tundra is kind of nice. I think we just take Etali, though. If we do end up sneak attacking, we are going to want at least something big to cheat to play. It might be Etali. Etali, though, is not game over, especially in a 1v1 format. It's not like Commander, where you have 3 opponents that you get to cheat things into play with. I mean, at this point, we're just broken open. We're open brokenness. Like, we're going to do something busted. Exactly what that something is, I'm not sure yet. We could be artifacts, we could be Storm, we could be Sneak Attack. We also haven't gotten anything too great to go with the Black Lotus yet. Like, I guess Sneak Attack on turn 1 is okay, but we don't even get any mana to activate it unless we find another mana source. Yeah, I don't know where we end up. We will see what the packs tell us. But if you're gonna do Powered Cube, like, I don't understand the appeal of being Powered Cube and being like, oh, I'm going to be a Johnny Boros Energy or something. What's the point? Why are you playing Powered Cube? Go play Modern. Go play Historic. Or Timeless or whatever. This pack, I mean, it might be time to start doing some fixing. I think we just take Trop. Real dual lands are very good. We don't have anything with green yet, but we could end up needing green mana. And the rest of that pack, just not doing much for Sneak Attack or for Storming. This pack, bunch of green cards that aren't really what our deck looks to be about. I don't mind Nexus of Becoming. We could be artifacts. Black Lotus, Wishclaw, Metamorph. Like, maybe we open Tolarian Academy and we're just like an artifact deck. Brainstorm's also fine, especially if we get some fetches. We're going to ignore the green. I don't think our deck is about Crater Hoofing or whatever. I think we take this Nexus. I don't know if we end up playing it, but that leaves us, okay, so we have 3 different broken paths: Sneak Attack, Artifact, Storm. The question is, where do we actually end up when this is all said and done? Hopefully we figure it out as we move towards pack 2. What we don't want to do is end up some weird mashup of all of those, because then none of them are going to be as good as they could be. I am getting a little scared about Sneak Attack just because I was really hoping we'd snag like an Emrakul or an Ulamog or like some really like S tier Sneak Attack target by now. And all we got's the Itali, which is honestly, it's fine. It's like it's like at least one level down from the best targets, maybe two. It might be like a low A tier Sneak Attack target, maybe a high B tier. When like Emrakuls and so forth those are the S tier win the game targets. Well, I mean, maybe Faithless Suiting is fine. Not insane, but we already in red. We'd probably played in Sneak Attack. We'd played in Storm. Yeah, let's take it. I don't think it counts as a broken card, but it's a card that lets us find our broken cards, and there is value there. Right now, I mean, our best cards are Black Lotus, Sneak Attack, Memory Jar. This pack, I mean, we could try to take Deathrite. We're not really in green yet. We could take like a Surveil land just for more fixing, have 2 green. Actually, you know what? Maybe the Urtai's fine. Even if we're something degenerate, having a catch-all removal spell is kind of nice. And this can be a counter spell, or it can be a removal spell. I don't know if it makes our deck, but I don't mind having, like, even if we're full on Storm or something, having a little bit of interaction is probably a positive. Wow. People are not valuing these dual lands very highly, are they? I mean, I think we're just going to take Bayou. That's the best card in the pack. This pack, Collective Brutality is kind of nice. Can be a removal, can be like a duress effect. I could see that making the deck possibly. Well, I think we need to find like a big payoff. Right now we have a bunch of broken stuff. A bunch of broken support cards, good support cards. Black Lotuses and Tutors and stuff. We need like the Tolarian Academy to let us know we're artifacts, or the Emrakul to let us know we're Sneak Attack, or some Storm Finisher to let us know that we're in Storm. Right now we have like, it's such an interesting draft. Because we can go a bunch of different directions from here. Well, we're not playing Lauren. I'm pretty sure we're not playing Carnosaur, but maybe if we end up Sneak Attack and we're just like super desperate, we might end up playing it. I really don't want to build Sneak Attack that's sneaking dinosaurs into play in Powered Cube. Sneak Attack into Trumpeting Carnosaur. Yeah, I mean, we'd almost do that in Standard. I feel like we might need to do something slightly more degenerate, perhaps. Fire Blast or Questing Druid. Actually, you know what? Let's say Questing Druid. Maybe the Impulse Draw is relevant. Well, Pillage the Bog is actually kind of a tutor. All right, what do we get in pack 2? Good dual land. I guess Vaultborn Tyrant. Maybe we are Dinosaur Sneak Attack, as depressing as that sounds. The Urza Saga is good if we're artifacts, but it's also not like a huge... It's not like Tolarian Academy, where it's like, all right, we're going artifacts. This is actually a pretty disappointing pack 2. Pick 1. No power, no even real palms. I kind of want to take the Urza Saga, I guess. Ooh. All right, this pack is a little better because at least we can take the Mox Diamond. And Mox Diamond, ooh, there's also a Dark Ritual, which is good in Storm, but we don't have any Storm payoffs yet. I think we just take the Mox. The fixing might also be important. Here we get, whole bunch of lands. I guess a Memory Lapse. I think we just take another, we have 3 real dual lands, which is kind of sweet. Take another dual land. Snapcaster is kind of okay. The Triome would be reasonable. Right now we are in a lot of colors. Toxic Deluge is another nice catch-all though. Let's take the Deluge in case we run into those energy decks. The last time Powered Cube was around, everyone was all about like these Ajani aggro decks, and I feel like Toxic Deluge has got to be one of the better cards. If people are still trying to do Boros aggro stuff, I feel like it's got to be one of our better cards in that matchup. We could really use a fetch land as well. We have 3 different OG duels. They're fine on their own, but they go way up in value once we have, like, if we find a blue fetch that can get Volcanic, Tropical Island. If we find a green fetch, we can get Bayou, Tropical Island. And at this point, we got black cards, we got blue cards, we got red cards, we got green cards. I mean, we have everything but white. We might just be 4-color broken stuff. We still really need a path to go down though. We need something. We need a sign from the Magic gods to let us know what direction to go with this deck. I mean, I'm glad we got the Black Lotus. That is the most broken card in Magic. But what are we going to do with it? I mean, maybe we're sneak attacking. Worldspine Worm is still like slightly below the Emrakuls and so forth, but this is the best thing to play in Pioneer. I mean, sneaking into play, smack you for 15, get some 5/5s. That is our new best sneak attack target. Oh my god, that is a fast bond. That is a speculative fast bond, but fast bond is insane in Storm. We have some green dual lands already, so we can cast it. And it opens up other combos if we get like Zoran Orb, some way to play lands from the graveyard. All right, maybe maybe we're a broken lands deck now. Oh, I was really hoping to get a better sneak attack target. World Spine is good though. World Spine, like a turn 2, turn 3 World Spine with haste should win the game. Here we get, well, there's a Wasteland. I don't know if our mana base can support Wasteland. We could take the Mana Rock, the Talesman, not an exciting pick. Season Pyro, kind of hard to cast, but would give us more card draw. I guess Liliana can come down turn 1 off Black Lotus, but I'm leaning towards the Pyro here, I think. Yeah, let's take Pyro. Get some more filtering. Well, I guess we can take Kappa Cannon here. We're still somehow, we're almost 2 picks into this draft. And we are still kind of like, maybe sneak attack, maybe storm, maybe artifacts, which is so, I figured we would have more of a direction by now. Well, I mean, I guess we can take this Vaultborn for the dinosaur sneak attack play. Oh, that's Dark Ritual. Okay, maybe storm is open and we just haven't seen any storm cards. I mean, we're gonna take Dark Ritual because it is the broken card in the pack and it probably shouldn't be going around with like 6 cards left in the pack. Yeah, I still do not know where this deck ends up. This is about the most open I've been in a long time, heading into pack 3 of a powered cube. So we're not getting anything the rest of this pack that is going to give us a direction. So I guess we're waiting for pack 3. Pack 3, pick 1. Guess we just take the Triome. It is in 3 colors that we're probably going to have in our deck. It is tapped, but we're going to need the fix. Oh, okay. Well, run it back. Triome. Our mana is actually going to be fine. I hope we hit a fetch, but we do have a lot of good duels. So I think we can be full on 4 color. Mycos one is good. I just don't know if we're going to have the colorless mana to actually activate it. Maybe we should just take the Explore. Explore, at least we can cast. Mycos one is a very solid card. Ooh, Eternal Witness. Okay. Well, double green, double red. We're just going to, mana costs are not going to be a concern in this game. All right, well, I guess we end up with this Liliana anyway. All right, Magic Gods, what do we get? Well, there's a Mana Drain. There's also, well, Natural Order we can't really cast. There's a Yog's Will. Yog's Will works really, really well with Black Lotus. Man, if we could get a Storm card, we could actually be Storm. I mean, Mana Drain's really good. Oh, this is tough. It's Mana Drain or Yog's Will. Those are the only 2 options. If we didn't have Black Lotus, I definitely take Mana Drain. Since we have Black Lotus, I think we take the Yog's Will. Man, the Yog's Will kind of send us in the Storm direction, although, yeah, I guess we can take Prismatic Vesta. Although we still don't have a Storm. Oh, there's a Brain Freeze. Okay. I think we're a Storm deck. I think we are now officially a Storm deck. A 4-color Black Lotus fast bond Storm deck. What are we taking here? There's a scrub land, but white's the 1 color we're not playing. Still, it might be worth it. Maybe the Stomping Grounds is better since it is colors we are playing. I can't imagine splashing white at this point. Well, I can imagine it. We can splash anything, but maybe Brazen Borrower's fine. Psychic Frog would also be fine, but we're not about beating down. So I think our plan is we can Storm off, win with Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze is the best finisher in Storm because it doesn't take that many spells to mill your opponent out. So we can do little mini storms where we just need to storm for like 7 or something and hopefully mill our opponent out with Brain Freeze. And then we might also be sneak attacking bad dinosaurs. I want to be Storm. I want to be a Brain Freeze deck, I think, at this point. The question's going to be, are we also a sneak attack deck, or are we just a Storm deck? So I think artifacts, we can cross artifacts off the table. We're not going to be a straight up artifact deck. We didn't get the rest of the pieces. Well, get Probe. Get Probe's good in Storm. That's just like free +1 Storm. Very good with our Brain Freeze win condition. The Eternal Witness also, I mean, we can kind of between Yog's Will, Eternal Witness. Maybe we're just like Black Lotus, Eternal Witness, get back Black Lotus, Yog Will, get back Black Lotus. Like there's some little cute loops that it seems like it might not be that hard to win with Brain Freeze. Of course, there is one downside to being on the Brain Freeze plan, which is if our opponent has an Eldrazi that shuffles back in on their deck, then we're probably not going to win. Wow, that's a channel. Well, LED is also interesting, but I think we just take the channel. Channeling out like memory jars pretty good. The extra mana helps with storming. It is a little awkward that it's double green, but at this point, we're just going to trust that we drafted enough dual lands that we're going to be able to cast our spells. Plus, we have the Mox Diamond and Black Lotus, I guess. Black Lotus isn't something you really think of it. Oh my goodness. That is an Upheaval. Upheaval is like my personal favorite card to take in Cube. It does work with black. It works really well with Fast Bond. Okay, so maybe we're an Upheaval Storm deck. So we can Upheaval, bounce everything, Fast Bond to replay our stuff. And we have the Brain Freeze Stormwind Con. That might be the actual goal. We might be Storm with Upheaval as our backup win con. I did have a cube draft with Kyoshi where it was actually good. We're not going to take it here. We're definitely not putting Kyoshi into play. The question is, do we want a Braid or do we want Mightstone and Weakstone? We're going to take one of the removal spells. I don't know if either make the deck. I guess getting rid of an artifact is nice. We can take a Copperline Gorge or like, I guess a Grist. Grist is another like potential turn 1 play off Black Lotus. This pack is not great for us, but we can take the Boseiju. We've drafted so many lands. All right, this pack is straight up dead. Take the Haywire Might. I guess we take... I don't think we're playing any of these. One of the commands, I guess we'll just take Coligans? Valve Spinoderm. What is that doing in the cube? All right, sure. And an Arwen. Well, interesting. So we are a pile of broken cards with Black Lotus. Let's see if we can turn this into a functional deck. So we basically have our entire deck in here. We're not playing Kappa Cannoneer. We're not playing Carnosaur. What else is just straight up not being played? Haywire Might, Arwen, Blastoderm, maybe Liliana. Season Pyro might make the cut. We're going to take it out for... Actually, we want to get rid of the Coligans command. For sure. We might play the Season Pyro. So this gets us to 44 cards. This gets us to 44, so we still got to cut probably 4. We are going to have to look at the mana at some point. So here's the big question. So we know our plans, right? We have the Brain Freeze Storm plan. We have the Upheaval Fast Bond plan. We have the Sneak Attack plan. The real question is, how do we cut these 4 cards? One obvious plan is that we just cut... Well, we're going to cut this Nexus of Becoming, I think. One obvious plan is we actually just cut the whole Sneak Attack package. Cut the World Spine Worm, cut the Vaultborn, cut the Itali, cut the Sneak Attack, bring in like the Season Pyro or something. Do we need the Sneak Attack plan? That is the question. We look like kind of a reasonable Storm deck actually, and I like the Upheaval, so maybe it makes sense to just drop, it all together. We can also we can cut the Explorer, we can cut the Eternal Witness. So this is what our deck will look like, well, with one more cut. This is what our deck would look like roughly with Sneak Attack. We'll have to figure out one more thing to cut. Plus, hopefully fixed mana. Do we need the nice thing about Sneak Attack, one thing that's awkward is we didn't end up with any super great turn 1 Black Lotus targets. And I feel like Sneak Attack is still the best thing we can just put into play on turn 1. The downside is if we're going to do this, we're a Storm deck that's playing a bunch of Italis and Vaultborns, cards that we're realistically not ever going to cast unless we Sneak Attack them. So the consistency is kind of an issue. We're going to get rid of the Urza Saga, but our colors are actually pretty good. We got rewarded for drafting so many dual lands that I actually think even without the fetch land, we might have to change up the basics slightly, but we actually have 6, 7, 8 sources of pretty much every color. And we have the Mox and the Black Lotus, so I think we actually are going to be able to successfully cast stuff. Do we want a Sneak Attack? That is the question. Maybe we cut the Vaultborn. But then if we cut the Vaultborn, we only have 2 Sneak Attack targets. Do we consider just cutting Sneak Attack? Is there anything else we really want? Questing Druid's fine. I wouldn't mind the Questing Druid. I wouldn't mind the Explorer. Those are the two, Season Pyro. Those are the three that I could see bringing in. And then we cut World Spider Metali Sneak Attack. Like, we need to draw the Sneak Attack, and we need to draw one of two finishers with this setup, which might just not be realistic. So if we cut the Abrade, this is what the deck would look like with Sneak Attack. I think this is the best we can do, keeping Sneak Attack in. I mean, we could just ship it like this. I'm just worried about consistency. You know what? Let's see what it looks like without it. Get rid of the Sneak Attack package. Get rid of the bomb. So we can bring in Explore. We can bring in Questing Druid. Either Abrade or Season Pyro. Season Pyro is double red, but we do have a lot of just natural red sources because of our dual lands. I think we're going this route. Let's bring in the Season Pyro, and that actually looks pretty good. That looks, I feel comfortable. Let's run it like that. Let's run it like that. See what happens. On to round number 1. So we're Storm. We didn't even really force Storm. We kind of fell into Storm, but we are Upheaval Storm. And let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. I don't think Storm is considered to be one of the best archetypes in this cube, but we're going to find out. All right, round 1 Vintage Cube. This hand, it is close to a mulligan. It is right on the... I mean, we have most of our colors. So we can Collective Brutality. The Og's Will is good if we draw Black Lotus. And then we got a Metamorph we can use to copy something. I think this hand is not great. It is pretty fair at the moment. Although there are draws that make it much less fair. Well, let's see if we can get some Storm kills. Or we might be able to get some sweet Upheaval kills. I love Upheaval. Upheaval is just, man. I'm kind of addicted to upheavaling. All right, we get to play first. So, hello, opponent. We're just going to lead on the tap land. Go. Hello, hello. All right, what are we doing, opponent? What broken powered cube thing are we doing? Opponent, island. Okay, so counter spells possibility. There's a Mox. I don't think there's any point, especially because we're a Storm deck. There's probably no point in running out the Mox unless we're going to use it for something. It's probably better to wait and use it when we're going to actually try to do something. Let's just play the fetch and pass. We could Collective Brutality. I think we want to save that. All right, opponent going to fire off Ancestral turn 1. Sure. Is this Ancestral, draw 3, discard to hand size? Come on. You can do it, opponent. Mountain and Legion Extruder. Okay. Well, you're going to have to discard 1 hand size. I mean, Ancestral, I wish we had Ancestral. We do have Black Lotus, though, so I guess we can't complain, but Legion Extruder, eh? So opponent's trying to do something with artifacts. We're going to take the Black Source. Opponent is going to have to discard 1 to hand size. Yeah, there's a Boseiju. If they're an artifact deck, this Boseiju is actually probably good. I don't think we're just going to Boseiju Legion Extruder, but there's probably going to be a time when it's good. Let's play the island. I don't want to Metamorph the Extruder. I guess we're just passing. Again. For having so many broken cards, we are not doing anything especially quickly this game. Mountain and Vivi. Oh, wait, this might, well, okay. This is very scary because we might be dead. Also, potentially very good. Wow. And they got Mox and Ancestral. Well, our opponent definitely opened some good cards. So Mox Sapphire triggers Vivi, grows Vivi. I mean, the good news about this is we can copy the Vivi with Metamorph, and then we have a Vivi, and I imagine Vivi is actually kind of good with what we're trying to, like, the extra mana is not going to be a bad thing. So we can, like, Metamorph the Vivi, Mox Collective Brutality. That actually seems kind of legit. And then we need to find, like, that does empty our hand a lot, but then we have a Vivi. Opponent doesn't seem to know what they want to be doing with the Vivi. All right, opponent's going to pass. Sure. Ooh, Memory Jar is actually pretty good. Actually, very good. That makes it a lot less painful to empty our hand. But we're going to start. Phyrexian Metamorph, pay 2, copy Vivi. Step 1. And then we are going to Mox Diamond. Trigger Vivi, make a bit of mana. I guess the Mountain. The Boseiju, we're going to have to play it here. But we do have Upheaval, so we might pick it up at some point. Well, Collective Brutality, we're just going to go Duress mode. Make sure our opponent doesn't have anything too ridiculous in hand. Grow our Vivi. What are we dealing with? Stock up Golos Urza. Okay, so opponent is an artifact deck of some kind. Urza and Golos are 2 very strong cards, but they don't immediately kill us, and they can't kill our Vivi. Next turn, we can get down the Memory Jar. Opponent gonna go low. Well, let's see what crazy thing our opponent can tutor up. Opponent. Wow, they got, my goodness. Opponent actually has a ton of good cards in their deck. Mox Ancestral Tolarian Academy, Golos Urza. Now let's play the Urza Saga. That can get our Black Lotus in 2 turns. Normally I like to like Memory Jar, crack it during our big combo turn, but we saw our opponent's hand. I think this is Memory Jar pass. I think it's just Memory Jar pass. Next turn, try to do Memory Jar stuff with our VV mana. And then we have the Yogg Will to get back like Memory Jar and stuff the next turn maybe. Well, let's see how this goes. Opponent land. And we could also, like, if our opponent tries to interact with the Memory Jar, we can crack it. We will draw and discard 7, but then our card we're going to get back is Yogg's Will. So we're kind of just filling our graveyard for Yogg's. Wow, Tezzeret too. Okay, opponent. I mean, our opponent has a sweet deck. Our opponent's deck actually looks very solid, like surprisingly solid. Opponent, Tezzeret. What are we doing with it? If they get a Black Lotus here or something, I swear, please tell me you've drawn all your good artifact cards. Watch them have Lotus too, or like Soul Ring or something. What is the most busted thing Tezzeret can tutor up? It is Candelabra of Tawnos, which isn't great right now, but is pretty good with Tolarian. I mean, opponent has... Oh, I guess because of Urza, it is pretty great right now. All right, opponent has an insane amount of mana. Found it. Yeah. Candelabra triggers Tezzeret. Opponent's got 3 mana floating. They can tap stuff to Urza. I mean, thankfully, I think all our opponent can really do is spin Urza, right? Which, who knows? We could just die. Like, a free random card is very scary. Hopefully they don't get... man, I just hope the Memory Jar lives. If the Memory Jar lives, we could win next turn. We might actually... Do we crack the Memory Jar end step? Now we will see. Opponent making mana. Gonna spin Urza. All right. No whammies. Jeez. It's a Sunder. Okay, well, you know what's pretty good against the person who drafted all the OG duels and triomes? That would be Sundering Titan. Okay. Well, now we're gonna have to win with 1 land. I mean, we still have the Mox, we still have this VV. Oh my, I mean, I imagine that is about as good as they could hit with that Urza. Well, we definitely need to win the game this turn somehow, or else we are going to die. We are going to die to this board. No doubt about it. Oh, Memory Jar. Come on, Memory Jar. Opponent's deck looks good, and they're also running good, because that spin was so good, hitting the Sundering Titan. What are the chances? Oh, opponent, still think this... Oh, they can use VV and tap stuff to spin Urza again? Untapped Tolarian Academy. There you go. Untapped Tolarian Academy. Use that mana to spin Urza again. Here we go. Come on. It can't be worse than the first. Okay, Expedition Map. We can deal with an Expedition Map. Sure. It does trigger VV. It does grow the Tez. Let's see what this Memory Jar can do. Let's see what it can do. We got 1 land on the battlefield. Opponent has a very, very scary lethal board. All right, well, if there was ever a time for good things to happen, we draw a Toxic Deluge. Which, I mean, we could Deluge, but that doesn't even seem game-winning. We're just gonna Memory Jar. Memory Jar, show us some goodies. So we lose our hands. We draw 7. Oh, there's a Fast Bond. Oh, Fast Bond actually lets us get it. Huh. Oh, the Yogg Will is gone for this turn. It does let us get our lands back eventually that the Sundering Titan blew up. Well, let's play the Fast Bond. Ping ya. Play the Tropical Island. So we're going to need to, what, like pillage into something? We probably need to find Upheaval. Either Upheaval or just straight up Stormkill. If we make VV mana, we lose it for the rest of the turn. Let's just pillage the bog. See what we can find. Oh yeah, we have the Urza Saga. So we have to go 10 cards deep. Can we find... Okay, there's a Upheaval and Brain Freeze. Huh. Wait, can we take the Upheaval? Can we make our opponent discard their battlefield? Wait a minute. We're going to take this Upheaval. Oh, this is actually insane. Okay, check this out. Oh, this is so good. So we're going to float our mana. We are going to make a green mana. We're going to VV for blue mana. So what we can do here is we can Upheaval, floating all of our mana. We're going to leave a green mana floating. Bounce everything. We can use our floating green, unless they have a counter that they can play off their artifacts, which would make me so sad. Oh, come on. No. That is the downside of Memory Jar, is we did give our opponent 7 cards for the turn. If they have a random like mana drain or something, they can cast off Urza, then we die. As long as they don't counter this, oh, it's going to be so good. Wow, it worked. Okay. Well, Sundering Titan, nothing to trigger. Sure. Opponent, battlefield in hand. We're going to play the fast spot. We're going to really play our land. So, Tropical Island, yes, and Mox Diamond. We're going to get rid of this Urza Saga. Going to be too slow now. We will Faithless Looting. We could still hit, like, the Brain Freeze. No. Okay. If we hit the Brain Freeze there, maybe we could win now? Well, let's get rid of the channel. Let's get rid of the trio. Remember, we are also going to get back the Yogswell at the end of turn. Down to 7. Play the land. Down to 6. And then I think we hold on to the Boseiju, and check this out. Memory Jar, opponent. You gotta discard everything. And we just made our opponent discard their battlefield. Our opponent had such an insane board. Memory Jar Upheaval. And oh, that was beautiful. Look at all those busted cards. We made them discard their battlefield. Well, Faithless Looting. We're going to get rid of this Toxic Deluge, which seems kind of unnecessary now. And I guess Season Pyro, I guess that's our win con. Season Pyro, make those 1/1s beat you down. We will play a Swamp, and we will just pass the turn. I mean, now we can, I imagine, win at our leisure, since our opponent... I'm surprised they haven't scooped yet. Like, having to... That was not only making our opponent discard their entire battlefield, they had a very impressive battlefield, too. Like, they were one turn away from... They were popping off, they spun into the Sundering Titan. That was going... so good for our opponent. Oh, Memory Jar Upheaval is so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Opponent finally found a land. Well, here we go. 7-turn clock, Season Pyromancer, make 2 elementals. Oh, there's a Wish Claw. Well, get it and hit you. Actually, we might still be able to win with... with Brain Freeze now that we drew the Wish Claw. If we never find the Black Lotus. Wow, Mana Vault. Okay. We draw land. Bound it. Yeah, let's Wish Claw, see what we can find. We can just Wish Claw, take the Brain Freeze. Can we win with this Yogswell? So we can Yogswell, and remember, we can fast spawn all the lands that Sundering Titan blew up into play. So this is going to make a ton of mana. So play the island, play the mountain, down to 5. Pillage the bog. See if we can find the Black Lotus. All right, there's the Black Lotus. So that we Black Lotus up the Storm Count and crack it for red and seek the Beast. Impulse draw 2. Okay, there's Eternal Witness. Although the Black Lotus is gone now because of Yogswell. So play the land down to 4. Play the land down to 3. Collective Brutality. Let's just do a little hand check here. Make sure our opponent's not holding anything scary. Oh, they had a Daze. Okay. Well, I'm glad we did that just so we know. Karn and Portal, not really scary. And then Brain Freeze, Storm Count at 5. Milieu for 18. And I believe that should do it. And, well, that's how you win, by making your opponent discard their battlefield. I don't think I've ever done that before. I made my opponent discard their hand. I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever made my opponent discard their battlefield. An opponent, library empty. We will just kindly pass the turn. Mana Vault triggers, and opponent draws on an empty library, and, well, maybe this deck is kind of sweet. Our opponent's deck was kind of sweet. We were super dead, but it turns out Upheaval Memory Jar actually pretty good. Well, let's just keep making people discover their battlefields. Sweet. All right, on to round 2 of our Storm Draft. Ooh, this hand looks pretty exciting. Actually, we make a lot of mana. Maybe it's not exciting. I mean, we have fast bonds, so we can just dump an extra land into play. All right. I mean, we're not going to say no. We saw the power of fast bond with Upheaval. last game. So dig our forest, get down the fast bond. Maybe we just like fast bond mountain faithless looting. See if we can hit even more lands. Plus we got the Yogg's Will. So getting stuff in the graveyard, not the end of the world. Wish Claw. Well, we're going to discard the Mox. Brazen Borrower. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're going to hold on to the lands. Play a swamp, and I guess there's... play the Volcanic Island. And then, you know what? Yeah, let's play the Wish Claw. There's no reason not to just dump our hand. All right, turn one. That's what we've got. 4 lands, a fast bond, a Wish Claw, and a Faithless Looting in the graveyard. Your go, Mom. Monastery Swiftspear. All right, we're playing this powered cube very differently, us and our opponent. We might die to this, honestly, but we're doing very different things. Opponent hits us, passes. Oh god, we draw a channel that we can't cast. I don't think there's anything to channel. So we don't have the mana to channel, and I don't know what we would Wish Claw for here. I guess we just store up cards in hand for a Faithless Looting to discard the channel. Not too much damage. Okay, Umezawa Jitte is perfectly fine with us, sure. Good card, but that is a slow fair card. Opponent hits us to 13. Ooh, Urtai. Okay, Urtai is great. Well, this makes it very easy. We're just gonna pass. I assume our opponent's gonna try to equip the Jitte. If they do, we'll just Urtai, kill the Swiftspear. Right now we're just in like buy time to draw some cards mode. We got a lot of resources on the battlefield, although our opponent's catching up. All right, there's the Jitte. Sure. I mean, we're not going to let our opponent start getting counters on the Jitte. We're going to Urtai. We could be super greedy and just try to block. I think that's too greedy for my taste. We're just going to kill it. Make sure the Swiftspear dies. Take 0. And this also gives us a body on the battlefield to block in the future. So all we want to do is just stay alive. Ooh, Season Pyro is actually spectacular here. That is great. That is a way we can get rid of this channel and get another body and draw a couple new cards. Well, Pyro. Pitch to that channel, draw a couple cards. Ooh, there's Memory Jar. Okay, Memory Jar is huge. Huge. I mean, we saw last time. We might be able to do the same thing. Wait, can we make another opponent discard their battlefield? I think we actually get frisky. Get in hedge ya. Burst Lightning. Sure, well, I'm glad we didn't go on the block planner. We would have gotten super blown out by that Swiftspear. That's fine. I mean, we're still at 13. We've survived the initial rush against the aggro deck. I mean, Memory Jar, Wish Claw, Upheaval, maybe. We don't have the BB this time, but last time we did it after getting Sundering Titan, remember? We had 1 land on the battlefield. Found it with the Looter Scooter, Smuggler's Copter. Sure, passes. Can they have a counter? They could have a counter. But what else are we going to do with our lives? Yeah, let's play the Memory Jar. I don't think it's going to be the same thing. We're going to play Memory Jar and try not to crack it until next turn. All right, Memory Lapse. Well, at least that's a counter that means we're going to get to draw our Memory Jar again. Do we attack with both? Yeah, let's hit you. They could have another hasty threat, but hopefully that's not an issue. All right, so next turn, we can try again to Memory Jar. I mean, there is a world where we win the turn we Memory Jar. Overlord of the Boiler Biggles, but our opponent's got to impend it. Oh, that's actually kind of fine. So they can't use it to crew the Looter Scooter this turn. All right, that's fine. And our opponent's mostly tapped down unless they have like a Spell Pierce. So that's Memory Jar. Oh, come on. Don't. Okay. All right, we get down the Memory Jar. I think we're still going to wait, though. We're going to pass. We're going to play this almost exactly the same as last game, where we're going to play Memory Jar 1 turn, and then next turn, we're going to crack the Memory Jar. We have the fat, so if our opponent just taps down, I think we win, right? Not win, but we can make our opponent discard their battlefield again. Expressive Iteration, going to draw some cards. We can do the same thing where we just, Memory Jar, find the Upheaval with the Wish Claw Talesman. Oh, actually, yeah, that works, right? So we can Memory Jar, find the Upheaval with Wish Claw, make you discard your hand, make you discard your battlefield, and then we just win, I don't know, somehow, eventually. Season Pyro from the graveyard. Oh, about it. Looking at the Memory Jar. Ooh, oh no, Dak Faden. Ooh, so they're tapped out, but they can steal the Memory Jar? If they steal it, I think we do just crack it, because we have Yogg's Will in the deck. Oh, they're going to go for the Wish Claw. Interesting. Okay, sure. Well, that means we just need to draw the upheaval. Found it. Deck fadens the tutor passes. We draw Urza's Saga. Well, let's play the land and also play the land. Down to 12. And let's see what Memory Jar says. Spin it to win it, spin it to win it. Memory Jar, 7 new cards come in. And we find, ooh, there is an upheaval. Okay. Well, opponent, how would you like to discard your battlefield? So we can play a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We might as well kill this Dak first. And now we can play the island. I mean, we can even Collective Brutality. Yeah, we have enough that we can Collective Brutality just to make sure they didn't draw like a Force of Will. Because if this upheaval resolves, we do win. Like, there's no way they're going to win from this. Opponent has a random burn spell and a Grim Lava Mist. Sure, all that's going away anyway. Well, opponent, let me show you what our deck does. We're going to tap all of our mana and we're going to upheaval, leaving green floating so we can replay this Fast Bond. Yeah, I guess we'll just leave both green floating. All right, pick them up, pick them up. And now we get to play a Fast Bond and play an opponent scoops it up. We could have just Wish Clawed too to get the actual Brain Freeze finish. And well, 2 opponents in a row have learned what it's like to discard their battlefield. Upheaval, it's a magic card. Memory Jar, also a magic card. You put them together and funny things happen. All right, I kind of love this deck so far. Sweet. All right. We are doing some more powered cubing here, making our opponents discard their battlefields, and ooh, I mean, this hand's a little speculative just because our mana's awkward. But I think we also worth mentioning, we have not been drawing early Black Lotuses. That was our first pick of this whole draft, and it's not like we've been winning because of Black Lotus. We've been winning because of Memory Jar Upheaval. Opponent, Elegant Parlor. Oh no. Someone who read 17 lands believes that the only deck in the meta is Boros. Swamp is actually a very good draw here. That turns on our hand, basically. Let's play this Wish Claw. So I think what we want to try to do is plot the pillage. And then with 2 cheap / free tutors, Caustic. Okay, so not Boros. Toxic Deluge. Okay, that'll come in handy at some point. Well, let's just plot a pillage the bog. So we have a free pseudo tutor. We have a 1 mana actual tutor. We have a Dark Ritual. So if we can hit like, if we can like pillage into Black Lotus, found it, getting him with the Bronco. And all right, hits a bobble, sure. So if we can like pillage into Black Lotus, Eternal Witness, Black Lotus, Dark Ritual, then get the Brain Freeze with the, I don't think we can win. I don't think we can win quite yet, but we have a line we're looking for, which is Black Lotus loops, tutoring up Brain Freezes, mill you out. Opponent cracks the bobbles, so we're going to get to take a peek at our Dark Ritual and draw a card at the beginning of the next upkeep. And untap land, sure, not relevant. We're not really pressuring your life total. Seem to be looking at the Wish Claw. We're going to blow up the Wish Claw. I mean, I guess even if they blow up the Wish Claw, it's kind of fine. We'd rather have it because it can help us win the game, but even if they do blow it up, all right, Prismatic Ending, sure, there goes the Wish Claw. Now opponent gets to draw a card. Let's see what we find here. Explore, the saddest explore. Toxic Deluge, kill the Bronco. Let's just explore, see if we can, nope. All right, cannot find a land. Well, do we need to pillage to find a land? That feels so bad. I want to do something better with pillage. I want to do something better, but yeah, let's be patient. Where's Storm Deck? Where's Storm Deck? Where's Storm Deck? We don't need to just be spending our resources to hit land drops. We have the possibility of just winning out of nowhere. We kind of want our opponent to play more creatures. I don't mind Toxic Deluging this Bronco, but I don't really want to Toxic Deluge just the Bronco. We're actually kind of hoping our opponent just runs out. Okay, Adeline, that is more than enough. Yes. Okay, so opponent runs out of Adeline, gets in with the Bronco, gonna hit us, gonna draw a card, gonna make a token. All right, tap land Spider-Man thing, sure. Down to 15. Well, now we can Deluge. And then I guess, okay, there's a land. play Volcanic Isle, and yeah, I mean, we got to do it. Deluge for 4, ouch, down to 11. But this cleans the board for now. If we get really desperate, we can always Eternal Witness back the Toxic Deluge. Opponent. This is a pretty big turn. If our opponent can get some pressure on, we might still be in trouble. Ooh, Cosmic Grand Zenith is very good. And then the Spider-Man thing. Ooh, Figure. Okay, Figure of Destiny. Well, our opponent basically is just Boros aggro with a little splash thrown in. They're Mardu aggro. Oh, are we going to have to do it? I don't want to do it. We draw a Swamp. Man, it's so many resources, but if we don't kill this Cosmic Grand, we're going to die, right? So we can, like, Eternal Witness, get back Toxic Deluge, Dark Ritual to have mana for Deluge, cast it. That is so painful, but I think we have to. Like, oh, and it uses a Dark Ritual too. Yeah, let's pillage first. Maybe we can hit something better off this pillage. Let's pillage for 10. Maybe we can hit something that gives us a better plan. Fastbond Brazen Borrower, Mox, Yogwill. Well, let's take the Yogwill for the future. Yeah, I mean, this is really painful, but the Yogwill makes it slightly less painful just because we can Yogwill back the Dark Ritual eventually. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, what it is. Eternal Witness, get back the Deluge. This is not what we want to be doing with our cards. This is not even close to what we want to be doing. Well, get back the Deluge, Dark Ritual, Toxic Deluge for 4 again. All right, so we've spent 8 life Toxic Deluging. And our opponent still got a bunch of cards in hand. Another red source would actually be kind of helpful to play this Season Pyro. I don't feel good about this one, though. We might actually be in trouble. We've had to spend way too many cards and way too much life dealing with random... Oh, and a Booster Tutor? Booster Tutor is such a cool card. I am so glad they added this to the cube. It's such a cool card, being able to just, like, tutor from a booster pack. You could almost make that like a black border card. The problem is you can't really, you don't want to force people animate that. It's your choice. Oh, then get back Cosmic Grand and then play the 2-drop to trigger it. Ugh. Well, if we draw land, we can Yogwill into Toxic Deluge. Number 3. Oh, I mean, without the Deluge, we'd already be dead. So it's doing its job. Oh no, that might actually beat us. We drew the land, but we can't Deluge. I guess we just have to play Distraction Grist. I don't know what our opponent's oopsing, but sure. I mean, Thalia is really good against us. Yeah, let's play the Distraction Grist. Dig up for an insect. Fill the graveyard a little for the Yogwill. Ooh, mill the Upheaval. That Thalia is huge for our opponent because it means we can't even Oh, no. And that probably does it. Well, all right. The old Thalia Inquisition of Kozilek combo got us. Really, we kind of got ourselves. We kind of got ourselves this game by having to cast so many Toxic Deluges. Yeah, this one just went we never got any traction. We've been on the back foot the whole game. Here comes the silly tap your stuff Spider-Man thing. What's Cosmic Grand gonna do? Make some tokens, I assume? You don't have lethal, but all right, gonna pump. So they really want to kill Grist, I guess? I mean, with the Thalia out, I'm not sure what our opponent chooses here really matters. So if we block, we keep Grist's loyalty high. We need to draw a red source. We need to draw... That's a brain freeze. Yeah, without the red source, we can't Season Pyro, and I think our opponent just... They got it. Well, ouch. All right, 2-1, 2-1. We'll make them discard their battlefield next time. On to round number 4 of our Powered Cube draft. Ooh, all right, I mean, I think I know what we're doing with this. One of these days, we're going to have a hand that has Black Lotus in it. I swear. I swear, one of these days we're going to have a Black Lotus opener. This hand is fine. I mean, it's not fast, but we have the Upheaval. We have the Urtai to slow things down. We have the Pillage to eventually do some digging, Bonnet Island, and passes. And there's a memory. Okay, well, I mean... We got the discard your battlefield combo. Let's play a land, pass the turn. Opponent. Island and Smuggler's Copter, sure. We find, oh god, our old friend Toxic Deluge. Well, pass the turn. Opponent, Mountain, and Nettle Cyst. Okay, so some sort of like artifact aggro deck. I mean, opponent's off to a little bit of a fast start here. Not like super fast, but fast enough that I'm a little bit nervous. Especially because we can't just Toxic Deluge the Looter Scooter. Smuggler's Copter pretty good against Raz. Opponent gets in, discards a Legion Extruder. We find a dark... Is there a world where we Dark Ritual out an Upheaval? Well, let's just plot this Pillage. See if we can set up... We're even going to have to take our beats for now, I guess. Opponent, Island, and... Also got to be aware that they could definitely have counter spells. Opponent gets in. Hits us with the Smuggler's Copter down to 13 loots, discards an island. And follow-up is nothing. Aw. Well, play a swamp. I mean, I guess our plan here is see if we can Urtai the Copter. And then maybe we can deluge away the rest of the board. Quarry Steel Cutter, eh? All right, the clock is increased. And a profs. Okay. Well, we're going to have to get going pretty quick here, or we might be dying. Yeah, opponent, okay. Off to a pretty aggressive start now. Not going to turn on the Smuggler's Copter. Gonna put the counter on the Quarry Steel Cutter. Attack with, well, okay. So I guess we can Urtai the Germ and then block the Steel Cutter token and then take one. And this technically leaves our opponent with nothing on board-ish. No creatures on board. They still have the Quarry Steel Cutter, so they're gonna be able to make creatures. We find a land. Oh, we need a blue source. We need a blue source for this Upheaval. Also, it's awkward that we have the Memory Jar and the Upheaval in the same hand. That means we're not going to be able to do the trick, right? Because if we crack the Memory Jar, the Upheaval is going to be in exile for the turn that the Memory Jar is doing stuff and making our opponent discard. Can they kill us if we just play Memory Jar here? I feel like if we play Memory Jar here, there is a relatively good chance we can win with Storm next turn. But there is a risk that we just die this turn. I think we got to do it, though. Run out the Memory Jar. Pass the turn. Hope it lives. Hope we live. The Quarry Steel Cutter and the Smuggler's Copter makes it a little scary. Those are the cards that make it scary. Because if they can, like, trigger the... Like, play a creature, trigger the Cutter, play something else, crew the Smuggler's Copter, equip the Nettle Cyst. Plus they have Wow. Wow. Okay, opponent does none of those things. Instead, our opponent's just going to pass. We finally find blue source number 2. Well, I guess the question is, are we going for it? Yeah, let's pillage the bog. Let's see what we can find. Pillage. Well, there's a Brain Freeze. No Lotus. Man, our Black Lotus is really good at being at the very bottom of our library. Very good. We can take the Brain Freeze. Storm off. I mean, what else are we going to take? I think it's got to be... So the thing with Brain Freeze and Memory Jar is we can take the Brain Freeze, we can crack the Memory Jar. Well, take the Brain Freeze, we can cast our Dark Rituals and so forth. Crack the Memory Jar, and then we'll get the Brain Freeze back on our end step from the Memory Jar. So then we can hopefully complete the Storm kill then. It's a little risky, but we're going to go for it. So crack Memory Jar. New hands all around for the turn. We find a Wish Claw. So we can Wish Claw for Black Lotus. We also have the Yog's Will. Well, there's the Dark Ritual in the graveyard. Let's Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting first. Draw not much. So we will discard... Actually, let's keep the Wish Claw. Let's go land and land. Actually, land and channel. We're not going to be channeling this game. Then we can play the Explore, up the Storm count, put an extra land into play. So play the land. Oh, we already played a land. Okay. So now do we just Yog's Will Dark Ritual? We need 2 mana left on our end step for the Brain Freeze. Yeah, maybe we're not going to actually use the Wish Claw. Yeah, let's Yog's Will. Opponent does not seem to have a counter, or they would be using it by now. Then we can cast the Dark Ritual. So I think this works. We cast the Dark Ritual. We cast the Wish Claw. Then we can Wish Claw for the Lotus. Lotus ups the Storm count. Yeah, I think this is about as high as we can get our Storm. So see if this is enough. So we get the Lotus. We play the Lotus. We Lotus for green. Play the Eternal Witness. Unfortunately, the Lotus goes to exile because of the Yog's Will, so we can get back... I guess just the looting? I guess we end up discarding this anyway, right? To the... Whatever we get, we're going to discard to the memory jar. So whatever, get back to looting. All right. I mean, that's what we got. On our end step, set a stop. Memory jar. Everybody loses their hands, gets back your original hand. So there's our brain freeze. Brain freeze you. Storm count at 9, 10 copies. And our opponent, a counter spell doesn't do it. They need an actual storm hit counter spell, like a mind break trap or a fluster storm. Do you have an answer? That is mill 30, that is more than enough to close out the game, opponent. Well, maybe not exactly making our opponent discard their battlefield, but Cryptic Command, bounce the Eternal Witness, counter a copy of Brain Freeze. Well, that is the power of the Storm mechanic. 9 more are still coming your way, and our opponent does not have enough cards in their library, and scoops it up, and, well, Storm. Not bad. Man, this deck, other than the last match where we got crushed by aggro, it has been working almost exactly the way we hoped. Sweet. All right. It is time to do some more degenerate things in Powered Cube. And oh my god, we have a Black Lotus. We finally have a Black Lotus opener. We could actually play 2 Black... No, we'd have to sack the Black Lotus. Well, I mean, we can Black Lotus out a Grist. Not the most insane thing I've ever seen someone Black Lotus out, but... Turn 1 Grist, can you beat it? That's what this hand does. Lotus, crack it, Grist. Take it up for an insect. And opponent, we have a turn 1 Planeswalker and a turn 1 token, your go chicken. Poison chicken. Well, apparently turn 1 Grist is good enough. Opponent scoops it up, and well, that is the power of Black Lotus. That's why the card is the greatest card ever made. Sweet. And we're up to what, 4-1 with the deck? This hand, yeah, this hand looks fine. We will keep it. Opponent leads on a Hallowed Fountain. All right, might be a control deck. This, I will say, the channel has not been impressive. Channel has not been impressive. Opponent, Island, and Reckoner Bankbuster. Right, nothing to make me believe they are not a control deck. Let's play. Yeah, let's play the Swamp. Pass the turn. So blue-white control, what does this mean for us, opponent? I don't Bant control. Oh, Teferi, come on now. Do we want to Questing Druid in response? Yeah, I guess. So Teferi would mean we can't do the end of turn trick, right? Where we like get back the Brain Freeze off the memory jar end of turn. It also annoys our Brazen Borrower a bit. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Land and, all right, land get probe, that's fine. The risk is we hit like a memory jar that we can't play. That would have been the worst. Wow, okay, we almost lost our upheaval. Well, I guess we just, let's play the land. There's probably no reason to pay life for the get probe. Yeah, let's just go land, Questing Druid. And then I think we just pay mana. Pay mana for the get probe. See what our opponent's got in hand. Grow the Druid. I mean, if you want to counter this, that is perfectly acceptable. Wow, they're... Wow, okay. Opponent. Daze is picking up an island to stop a get probe. All right, then, I mean, I will take 1 mana, put you down a land. That is fine. Opponent going to take up the Teferi. Sure. Might be a bad idea. Opponent's also a lot of colors. They don't seem to have drafted as many dual lands as we have, though. Let's play the island, and I guess we start beating down on this Teferi. I mean, we can win through a Teferi. It's not like Teferi is the end of the world, but it is annoying. Are we just passing? I guess we're just passing. Awkward, awkward, awkward. I mean, I feel like this game probably comes down to us trying to resolve an upheaval. Maybe that's the reason our opponent dazed is they don't want us to know if they have a counter in hand, which I can actually see the value in that. Like, the information of the Gitaxian Probe is actually kind of huge, just to know, like, do we have to play around something? Do we got to try to find a way to get a counter out of our hand before we resolve our big payoff? Beseiju. Well, let's play an island. We can bounce the Teferi. It's just so awkward to bounce the Teferi during our turn, because then they just recast the Teferi. But if we can get rid of the Teferi, then we can try to like do a little pressuring on our opponent's turn. Yeah, we're gonna stay patient. Hit the Teferi for 2. Opponent end step. Bankbuster gonna draw a card. Sure. Bankbuster is a good card. I don't know if it's like the best powered cube card of all time, but it is like just a solid, it's a solid card. Opponent gonna take up Teferi. I mean, I guess it was banned in standard, so. Can we kill this super obnoxious Teferi? Opponent, Wooded Foothills. All right, so opponent actually drafted some lands too. I do not know what our opponent's up to. Everything seems control-y, but then they also just have a, all right, so opponent's got a reasonable mana base. So there's like a 4-color control deck. Parallax Wave, sure, that's fine. You can deal with our questing druid, sure. Opponent. I mean, this does mean we can't kill the Teferi. Dark Ritual. I mean, I guess we could just Dark Ritual Upheaval. Not a great upheaval. The other upheavals were so good because we had fast mon, so we could just immediately, it's like you lose everything, we lose nothing. But we don't have a synergy piece here, so it doesn't really do much. We like Dark Ritual Upheaval, replay the first land drop and discard a bunch to hand size. I guess Channel makes it better if this works. We can Channel Upheaval. We can also just keep waiting. There's no reason we have to. We've played it patiently so far. There's no reason we have to just like go for it right now. Let's just play the land, go to combat. Let's attack the Teferi. I imagine this means a Parallax Wave. Get rid of the Druid for now. I mean, this Druid's actually done some work. This Druid's been the only card well, I guess we tried to play the Get Pro, but it's essentially been the only thing we've done this game. Do we bounce the Teferi so then we can flash in the Brazen Borrower and keep pressuring? We bounce the Parallax Wave, but then they just replay it. Yeah, I think we just bounce the Teferi. Since our opponent's down on land because of the days, they don't have that many resources. So then hopefully what we do, if our opponent just replays the Teferi, then we get to flash in the Brazen Borrower to pressure the Teferi. That forces them to take down the Parallax Wave, which is going to get it off the battlefield and then give us back both of our creatures. So there's the Teferi. Well, in response, Brazen Borrower. And if our opponent ever goes too deep and just completely taps down, then maybe we get them with Upheaval Channel or Upheaval something. Dak, okay, well, opponent is tapped down. For a Dak Faden that, I mean, I guess it lets them Faithless Looting. Draws a couple, discards Brainstorm, discards a Pyro, sure. All right, we draw, ooh, Pillage, huh. Well, I was thinking we were gonna channel Upheaval, but this Pillage now makes me think we should try to win. That might just be better, because we get to go 12 cards deep. That is almost a tutor here. Yeah, let's Pillage. See, okay, there's the Brain Freeze, and there's the Lotus. So if we take the Brain Freeze, opponent has 22 in their deck, so we need 7 copies. We have the Faithless Looting, we have the Dark Ritual. Yeah, I think we take the Brain Freeze and see if we can go far enough. So Dark Ritual, Storm Count at 2. Yogg-Will, Storm Count at 3. Get Probe for free. Do a little hand check. Storm Count up to 4. Okay, bunch of red cards, sure. Dark Ritual, Storm Count up to 5. Pillage the Bog, Storm Count up to 6. Do we find the Lotus again? No. But we can take the Mox Diamond. So Storm Count goes to 7. Discard the land. And then Faithless Looting. Storm Count goes to 8. And this is more than enough, right? Discard the channel. Discard the swamp. Storm Count's at 8. Opponent has 22 cards, so this Brain Freeze, as long as they don't have an Eldrazi in their deck, which hopefully they don't. Well, Brain Freeze, Storm Count at 8, and I think we got another Storm Kill. Man, this deck has been so good. Brain Freeze you, Brain Freeze you, Brain Freeze you, Brain Freeze you. Do you have an Eldrazi? A Johnny Benskamboo? So opponents just ooh, Mox, okay. Consult the star charts. Oh, they had a Lotus too. Wow. All right, so opponent has a pretty good deck. Our opponent deck, I mean, they got the Black Lotus, got a bunch of Planeswalkers. I don't know about all these red cards. I don't know about the Biza. But, well, all right, and that should do it. And opponent, your go. We won't even attack you. Parallax Wave ticks down, and opponent not going to survive. And, sweet. I mean, I guess this hand is fine. We don't have any black mana. But we do have the Faithless Looting. I mean, so far this deck's been great. This deck's been great. We're 4-1. Opponent, another blue deck. Blue, black, and Talesman of Progress. Sure. All right, Prismatic Vest is actually kind of a great draw because that lets us get our missing color of mana. So this lets us get the black source, and I guess we probably just Brutality Duress mode. Yeah, let's do some duressing. And then next turn we can play the Grist. Opponent, all right, gonna Spell Pierce, sure. Well, that's fine. We duress the Spell Pierce for 2 mana. Opponent, tap land. Season Pyro should be good eventually. What, it's either Grist or Pyro, I guess? I think we just get the Grist down. Opponent. Oh, mana drain. Okay, so, well, opponent came prepared with counters. I will give them that. This is a scary turn. Opponent can untap with an ungodly amount of mana. Please, Tolarian Academy. What is your big bomb, opponent? This is our opponent's chance to do something. Time Spiral. All right, well, new hands all around. New hands all around. Opponent untaps all their lands. I'm kind of fine with that, I guess. It did give our opponent a bunch of, wow, miscalc too. So opponent has, wow, so many counter spells. The good news is counter spell's not good against Brain Freeze. Also good news is that Time Spiral's gone. It would have been very sad if we did some Brain Freezing and then our opponent just shuffled everything back in. Let's play the Stomping Grounds. Ship the turd. We're going to go back into Patience mode. Also remember, Legion. We have seen a shocking amount of Legion Extruders. This is the 3rd deck that has had Legion Extruder in it this run. Why is everyone playing Legion Extruder? Let's Seek the Beast. We got enough mana we can play, I think, anything we could possibly hit. Anything we hit, like even the Memory Jar, we can just play. I mean, I guess the Legion Extruder does work with Tolarian Academy, so that might be the, wow. All right. There's our Lotus, and there's our Collective Brutality again. Well, step 1. Let's do this again, since we know our opponent is the biggest believers in counter spells in Cube Graph history. How about a Collective Brutality, you? Shuffle back into the Spell Pierce. Sure. I guess we pay for it? Do you have another counter spell you want to spend on Collective Brutality? No. Opponent's hand, Magda, summon Bahamut. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can't summon Bahamut this turn. So we're going to play the Black Lotus. And then play the land. Yeah, I don't think we can win this turn. Actually, we can... We can't win, I don't think, but we can mill them pretty low. They have 25 cards. So we can Dark Ritual. Then we can Metamorph on the Black Lotus. So Storm Count goes to 5. And then we can Pyro off 1 Black Lotus. Storm Count goes to 6. Brain Freeze off the other. Mill you for 21. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the plan. Play the Season Pyro. So we're going to mill our... This is so awkward. The almost Brain Freeze kill is such an awkward place to be. So now the question's going to be... Okay, we hit a channel. That might have been relevant early in the game. I mean, we've spent so many resources at this point. We are kind of pot committed to this, so we got to do it. Brain Freeze you. Sadly, this is the classic non-lethal Brain Freeze. This is the mill you down to 4 cards in your deck to let you know that you really got to kill us pretty quickly. The good news is we have Yogswell, we have Eternal Witness. Either one of those will just win us the game. Assuming our opponent's not playing Eldrazi. Well, there goes a mana drain. They had an Urza in there. Have a Mox. Milestone, and so they're just like an artifact deck, basically. Kappa Cannoneer. All right, opponent, 4 cards in the deck. That's what we got. Yorgo. Man, we were, I guess, one spell short technically. 2 spells short technically, although one spell would have basically done it, because there's no way they're going to kill us in 1 turn here, knowing their hand. So opponent makes a 3/3. So basically, so the bad news is they're going to be able to play this Summon Bahamut. And that Summon Bahamut is going to beat us very quickly. Well, there's a Tezzeret. Well, that's not too scary, because I can't imagine they have much to tutor up. There's a Magda, which is going to make treasures to let them play the Summon Bahamut next turn. Opponent. Gonna grow the token. Get in while we're gonna jump. All right, we just gotta steal it. We need to draw Yawgwill Eternal Witness, Trop Island. Well, we can play the Questing Druid. We can play the fetch land to thin the deck a bit. And yeah, we're not. Actually, do we attack Tez? We need them to trade the Magda. Yeah, we're going to give them the option to trade Magda. All right, opponent sees through it because this Magda making a treasure lets them play the Summon Bahamut. But our opponent realized, oh, okay, they're going to be able to do it anyway. Mox Opal, sure. Grows the Tezzeret, and there's a Summon Bahamut. It's a 9/9 flyer. It can blow up our blocker. Okay, we have one turn, I think. I think we have one turn to top deck it. Oh man, are we gonna lose this one? Well, thin the deck. I mean, we could also hit like tutors, card draw, take an island. All right, we take our beats. We are dead next turn to the Summon Bahamut. Can we find a way to recast this Brain Freeze? Ooh, Wishclaw. I think Wishclaw can do it. I think it can do it. We're still at 7. Oh, maybe we finally get value out of this channel. 1, 2. So let's play the channel. So now we can turn our life into manas. And then we can pay a life, 1 mana, Wishclaw. And then this should work, right? So we can pay life, Wishclaw, get the Yawgwill. Yeah, we actually kind of needed the mana from the channel here. The channel's been so bad. An opponent sees what's happening and scoops it up. The channel has done nothing. The channel's been the worst card in our deck, but it finally came through in the clutch at the perfect time to let us Brain Freeze a second time. Well, let's keep it going. Okay, we're gonna keep this. We are going to keep this. We're gonna lead on the Boseiju, and I think we might have a little bit of a turn here on one. Let's play the Fast Bond. Let's play the Yes, it is pretty nice, Robbie D. Play the Triumph, play the Volcanic Isle, and pass the turn. So with Fast Bond, unless you're using the mana, there's no reason not to save 1 land in hand. Shadow Sphere for our opponent, because you get to cast it the following turn anyway without spending life. And if you draw another land, you can always spend the life the next turn to play it. So worth keeping in mind. Let's just pass the turn. Plus we have this Mox that we might want to play, Opponent Island, and passing. Fast Bond hands without a payoff are so funny because you just dump so much mana into play. And you're like, oh, I got like 4 lands on turn 1. And then you just pass and do nothing. Well, we are going to continue to pass. Memory Jar is a good draw. That is a good draw. That will be helpful eventually. We also have Yawgwill Brain Freeze. And Yawgwill Brain Freeze together can do things. Like, one of the ways you can win with Brain Freeze, we've mostly been, well, except for that one game where we ended up 4 short, but we mostly have just been winning all in one turn with 1 Brain Freeze. But you can do, like, a little Brain Freeze, and then cast some more stuff, and then Yawgwill and another little Brain Freeze, and do it that way, too. Opponent hits us. Did not equip the Shadow Sphere, which makes me think, oh, there's Lotus. I don't think we can win here, right? No, opponent's got too many cards in their deck. All right, we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait. We need to draw more mana, I guess. Our opponent not equipping the Shadow Sphere and leaving up that mana is a pretty big telegraph that they got to be holding a counter, right? Or some sport. Why else would you not get the free life gain? So I'm pretty convinced they must have Mana Drain, Counterspell, something like that. Opponent hits us to 13. Yeah, we will untap and draw. Explore. Ugh. I mean, we have to cast this Explore, but it's going to let our opponent draw 2, which is not good. All right, at least we hit a land. At least we hit a land. So opponent gets a free card. Well, now it's mostly about waiting for our opponent to either drawing a way to duress our opponent, like the Collective Brutality, or waiting for our opponent to be a little greedy and tap down for something, because then I think we probably can kill them, right? Black Lotus, so Mox is 1, Black Lotus is 2, Yawgwill is 3, Black Lotus is 4. Yeah, maybe. All right, opponent. Oh, are you gonna put it on? Are you gonna put it on? Jitte. And all right, opponent religiously leaving up that 2 mana. So they have to have a Mana Drain or a counter spell or something like that. Otherwise, our opponent is just like the most consistent bluffer of all time. We're gonna play this Memory Jar. See if that gets the counter out of the hand. All right, there's the Mana Drain. Sure. I guess we gotta play this tap land. Take 1, down to 9. All right. Well, we got through the counter spell. We are also kind of dying. So man, can we win? Can we win next turn? Sunder, oh no. Oh no, this again. Oh. Well, that's gonna make life way more difficult. So now we have to win through not having any lands. Yeah, Sundering Titan is really good against us. Well, now we have 2 lands, and our opponent has, well, not a 2-turn clock. They're still leaving up mana. Ooh, Metamorph. Not that it even really does anything. Well, let's play this Black Lotus. I mean, we can just like copy Sundering Titan, but that doesn't even seem good. We still, I think, just lose to the flyer. Yeah, I mean, all right, Yogswill, we just got to go for it. We got to go. We're dying, so we just got to go for it. All right, that works. There's the Yogswill. So we can... The combo of Fast Bond... The combo of Fast Bond and Yogswill has let us survive these Sundering Titans by getting our lands back somehow. So if we explore, they get to draw. Unfortunately, we have 2 tap lands in our graveyard. So we get to play the Volcanic Isle. Let's pay life for the Metamorph to copy the Black Lotus. Up the Storm count. Oh, do we have a counter? Okay, no. Okay, so copy the Black Lotus. Make green, cast Explore, but then it triggers the... I mean, Brain Freeze, but not for much. We can play the Mox. It's going to sacrifice itself, but it does up the Storm count. Yeah, ugh. I'm not thrilled about this, but we're going to explore. Draw a card. Trigger the silly Fairy Oh. Oh. Okay, trigger the Fairy Mastermind, but... We drew into a Dark Ritual, which ups the Storm count, and that might be, I think that might be enough. That might be enough. Dark Ritual. Storm count grows to 6. Mox Diamond. Storm count grows to 7. And then crack for blue. Memory. Do we Memory Jar? It does up the Storm count. Yeah, I mean, it gets the Storm count up one. Grow the Storm count with the Memory Jar. Storm count to 8. Exactly 2 mana left over. And then, yeah, we're just going to do it. Brain Freeze you. Brain Freeze for 8. Get the copy, so technically 9. And do we get them? If our opponent had a counter, they would have countered something like the Yogswill, right? So I think it's pretty, unless they drew it off the Fairy Mastermind. Well, an opponent scoops it up, going 7-1. By storming off and making people discard their battlefields. Okay, well, Brain Freeze. It is a pretty good finisher. Sweet. So what did we learn this week about our Powered Cube draft? And I gotta say, this is, I think, the sweetest Powered Cube deck that I have ever drafted on Magic Arena. This deck was so incredibly sweet. Record-wise, we went 7-1. Our one loss was that weird game where we kind of just Toxic Deluged ourselves to death. Although, honestly, if we didn't cast those Deluges, we would have just lost to the Adalines in the beatdown anyway. So we did legitimately just kind of get beat by that Mardu aggro deck. On the other hand, we kind of crushed everyone else, and I was surprised at how resilient the deck was. I expected, with where we ended up, with the Black Lotus and with the Brain Freeze and the Yogswill, I figured we'd get some Storm kills with the deck. The part that shocked me was the games where, like, we got Sundering Titan multiple times, and we drafted so many dual lands that those Sundering Titans were putting us down to, like, 1 or 2 lands on the battlefield. So our opponent had all this mana, we're down to 1 or 2 lands, and our deck still didn't care. We still just popped off and won the game through those ridiculous Sundering Titans. And I think the big lesson, if you want to take one lesson away from this, if you're going to try Power Cube drafting yourself, I think this deck shows the power of just taking the broken cards and staying open in Powered Cube. If you go way back to the draft, we didn't really know what archetype we were going to be until like halfway through pack 3, and arguably even in deck building, we were still thinking about, should we play this sneak attack package in the deck? But we just took the busted cards. So we started with Black Lotus, which obviously getting a little lucky to open the single best card in the cube, pack 1, pick 1. But then from there, we like took the sneak attack thinking, oh, maybe we're like using Black Lotus to cheat sneak attack into play and then winning with big sneak attack stuff. We took stuff like Memory Jar thinking, okay, maybe we're going to be a storm deck, or maybe we can be some sort of artifact style deck. if we hit a Tolarian Academy. And then we just started taking, tutors and other broken cards. We took Fast Bond in case we hit, the pieces that work with Fast Bond, like the Zoran Orb and the Crucible of Worlds. But it wasn't really until most of the way through pack 3, when we found the Brain Freeze and then the Upheaval, that really solidified what archetype we're going to be. So I think this was just a good example of taking the really good, really broken cards and then letting the draft kind of show you what direction to go. Because we picked what, Sneak Attack, pack 1, pick 2 or 3. It might have been the very first pick after the Black Lotus. It might have been pick 2, but we took that Sneak Attack very early. And I have a tendency sometimes when I draft to be like, okay, we got the Black Lotus, we got the Sneak Attack, we're going to be a cool Sneak Attack deck. But we didn't really do that. Yeah, we took an Etali here and we took some stuff, so there was a chance that we could be a Sneak Attack deck, but we didn't go all in on it. Instead, we stayed open. We just took the broken cards. We left open the possibility that we could be artifacts, or we could be Storm, or we could be Sneak Attack, or maybe even something else altogether. And in the end, we were rewarded with one of the sweetest draft decks that I think I've ever put together. And we got some ridiculously cool kills with the deck. So anyway, that is how you can make your opponents discard their battlefield. And that's our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this limited Against the Odds. Also, let me know what you think. I've been playing more limited lately. I'm really curious what y'all think about some limited content. And Constructed's always going to be my main thing. Like, most videos we get are definitely going to be, standard and modern and some pre-modern and some other formats mixed in. But what do you think about doing some, limited Against the Odds on occasion? Do you think it's fun to mix it in? I'm curious what you think about it, because I absolutely loved playing this deck. I loved what we did with the deck, and I just have really been enjoying limited lately. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it. Go do some power cubing. It is so much fun, and I will talk to you soon.